Hey, guys, what's up? It is your girl Samantha of the She Hustles podcast. I am welcoming you into the podcast. If you are a first timer, welcome. If you are a repeat girl coming in, hey girl, welcome back to the show. You guys know I'm silly. But if you don't know, I am silly. So just so you know that. My name is Samantha. I am a part owner in a Christian apparel brand with my husband called Kingdom Hustle. And this is the She Hustles podcast, a platform and a safe place for the ladies to talk about God and whatever things that women go through. And so I'm so excited. We are actually in season 2, and we are doing episode 4 already of season 2. So excited. And so if you were able to tune in previously, to our episode 2, we talked about being your best self, and we were really talking about body positivity, and that's a big subject for us. And so I talked about it with my girl Tiffany, and it was such a great conversation that we couldn't stop at just one conversation. We couldn't. And so we had to bring a part 2 to just really dig and talk about it. That what we go through. And so I'm not going to hold her any longer. Thank you guys for tuning in. But here's Tiffany. We're going to get into it. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I'm excited to be back for part 2.
Me too. I'm excited that you are back. Welcome. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself for the people who are first time tuners, inners? I don't really know what to call them, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. So I'm Tiffany. Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 2. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do raise, but I do have 3 kids under the age of 5, Lavender, Violet, and Lennox. I'm an Army wife, so that is a whole thing in itself because, we got to move and all in the third. So Army wife, I am a network marketer for a health and wellness company. And I'm just a believer in manifesting everything that you want to do in life. So that is me. That is what I do. And I am here and I'm so excited. Sam brought me back for the second episode.
I am so excited that you're here.
To curl like, girl, let me tell you, okay?
I was trying to be a little different tonight. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes, see what the viewers say.
I'm ready to go get my robe and be like, look, this is about to be good, okay? Let me cover up some more.
I'm trying to make sure I'm fully covered in Jesus' name, okay? I figured since we were talking about such a personal topic, why not be in a personal space where I can be comfortable talking with you? So that's why it looks a little different tonight. Yes, I have on pajama apparel.
Look, you look comfortable, okay? I'm like, ooh, I showed up to the party overdressed. Let me put my pajamas on. I love a good pajama.
You look marvelous, girl.
That's I'm here freezing.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. Being a married lady, sometimes it's easy to get comfortable. And as you should be comfortable, but you go too comfortable, and then your husband, he don't say nothing, but he's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, "Why she gotta wear the holiest of holy t-shirt?"
Right. Did you just wear that like the other day? Don't.
Yes.
These are comfortable, okay? They just don't know. When you find good.
So I've been trying to do a little better with that. Listen, when you find the right pair and they listen, that's a whole nother show. I won't go totally off. This is what we do, guys. This is a girlfriend conversation, okay? You just happen to just be listening. So
yes,
hopefully you're enjoying yourself thus far.
But they be like, we gotta get back.
Way off topic. Listen, we'll get there one day. I'm still new to this podcast work. But I am just so excited to have you back on. I feel like last time we talked about some stuff. Okay, we talked about body positivity, feeling attractive, and all of that. And so I wanted to keep it going. And so we didn't get to touch on our bodies. And I wanted to talk about, or really not necessarily, yeah, talk about and ask you, when did you start to love your body? Have you ever loved your body? That's what I wanted to ask you, woman to woman.
Look.
Go ahead and sip some water, child. Go ahead and sip it, child.
Okay. It's so funny that this wasn't like intentional at all, but like
Yes.
I posted today on Instagram about
Hmm.
one of my number one insecurities. And that
Yes.
basically is like on my face. And it's like I have facial hair on my face.
Okay.
And
Okay. Tell us.
I was just like, I literally was born with like a mustache. Like I came out the womb with the mustache.
Yeah.
It is like I just never like son. That's not how you be born with one thing and then you grow out of it. I never grew
Yes.
out of being hairy. So,
Really?
oh my gosh, yes. And then it doesn't help
Mm.
that I'm fair skinned. So it's just like, and my hair is like dark. So
Yes.
I'm
Your
just
hair
like,
is good. Listen, for the ones who can't see her, she's got beautiful long locks. Okay, it's beautiful. Beautiful long, luxurious natural hair. It's gorgeous. Sorry, go ahead. Just had a
thank you,
disclaimer.
thank you. But when I posted it, I just was like, oh my God, I am about to expose myself to the world because no one, when I say no one outside of like my best friends, of course, my
Yeah,
husband, and then like
sure.
close cousins know that that is like a serious insecurity for me. Like I will bawl out in tears if
Oh
I
wow.
just remotely see any hair in on my chin or on my like
Yeah.
upper lip. And
Wow.
then, of course, things that come with motherhood or like pregnancy and pregnancy hormones,
Mm.
no one tells you, like, oh, yeah, you're about to grow a beard. Like,
Listen, listen. They sure don't.
so it's just so funny to me. Like, this is the
Mm.
conversation now, and I just posted about it. But
Wow.
to answer the question, I've always liked my body.
Okay.
I've never
Okay.
really like be like, oh my gosh, my body is bomb, or like I'm in love with my body because I'm
Yeah.
like I said in the old, and not in the old, but in the prior podcast, I do sports. You know, I
Yeah.
grew up doing sports, so I always
Mhm.
had a sports girl's body, which is
Mm.
I always had the little butt, the big thighs because they were muscular. Like my legs were muscular, my arms are muscular.
Right.
You know, and because you do sports, sometimes in certain girls, your
Mhm.
puberty happens later on in life.
Later.
That's what happened
Yes.
to me. And I just was like, well, if I was a gymnast, I'd probably be flat chested, no butt for the rest of my life. Like, so yeah, it was always a time where I
Wow.
didn't like, I never like loved my body.
Okay.
But I liked the person that I was, like the body that I had, because I
Good.
always knew that I fit in where that category was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you.
Like growing up and then like throughout like high school and stuff, you still
Okay.
find your place like in your body types. So I was able to
Mm,
find my place when
okay.
it was like coming into puberty, going into
Mm,
graduating, then like really being able to express like my body and show a little bit more and like
okay.
my body in college because I was a cheerleader. And in
Oh,
college when we cheered, you might as well say that we cheered in a swimsuit.
I was gonna
'Cause,
say, because that's real tiny. Okay.
yeah, so that again, like being an athlete, but being in that uniform, it
Yeah.
made me like, you know what? I'm not just an athlete, and I think I have an athlete's body, but you know, I am a little sexy. I mean, I got a little curve back here,
Oh,
curve over here. So as time progressed, of course, you know, I figured out how to love myself more, along with like how my body was being transformed. But I wouldn't say I
mhm.
ever like fell in love with my body. Like I've never been that person, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, how would you answer that
Yeah.
question? When did you fall in love with your body?
Ooh. I'm more opposite. The previous podcast I did share that I was not as athletic. I did attempt to be, but I started. I was always elementary school. I was always very petite. Middle school is where I started to grow hips and stuff like that. But I always had a flat stomach in that season. And so I felt like a little cute, but I always was a little self-conscious. But I did love my body, I feel at that point. But I feel that as time progressed, like I think high school, I kind of loved my body. I felt cute. I did feel cute. Not gonna lie, I did feel cute. But I feel like when I got to the end, like senior year into college and stuff like that, it started to shift and I started to get a little more thicker, but then I was able to work out and lose weight like that.
Mm.
Like that. So I would say at that point I love my body. Now I feel like I'm on the other side where I don't love my body. Um, I feel like, and I try to catch myself because I don't want my daughter to catch those insecurities that I have because if I'm being fully transparent, I am super insecure of where my body is right now, and losing weight is like watching molasses. Like it's like watching paint dry. That's probably a better, So that's a loaded gun question for me. I even to be even more I'm very transparent. Uh,
I love
I will look at myself in the mirror, especially in the morning or if I'm getting out of the shower, and I will shift my stomach and I'll be like, that's what it could be. I do that.
it. Girl, tell
Okay.
me about it, okay?
I
Now,
shift it.
see, I've always been a small person. Like,
Okay.
regardless of what I've done, I was a size
Sure.
14 till I hit high school in
Mm-hmm.
girls, like 14 in girls. And
Wow.
right. And
Mm-hmm.
my cousins, like all of them were always like these, they were bigger than me, they were curvier, they had
Mm-hmm.
boobs, they had, all this and the third. And I'm like, why not cousins? We cousins, like we in
With blood.
bloodline. Like, what is happening? How did this skip me? But
Right.
then, like, again, when
Mm-hmm.
my body went through the extreme change when
Yes.
I went through motherhood. And it's crazy to me because I never had boobs, never had like bigger thighs and like a muscular look,
Okay.
never had like a backside, like never had
Yeah.
the stuff. Like I literally was a square, a rectangle. And like I became pregnant with my first
Yeah.
daughter, I was like, oh, I got a little, okay, thanks. Thanks for giving me that. Oh, I got a little something up front.
Right.
Well, thank you for giving me that. But then again, it all went
Right.
away after these things were enhanced, leaving the aftermath. And I'm like, Brad,
Yes.
at 33, I did not want to look like this. Okay, I did not. This is not what I wanted to look like. When you say you walk in that
Right.
room in the morning and be like, I do the same
Listen, I
thing.
do. I be like, I move it up, and I
Okay,
be like, oh
I
wow,
do the
that's what it
same
could
thing.
be.
And I think it's one of those things. It's just like, for me, it's one of those things where I'm like, dang, did I do enough during
Oh,
pregnancy to get
yeah,
back to where I know that I would be more comfortable with? You
got
know,
it. Oh, that's a
like,
big one.
yeah, and it's just like, and it weighs on you because like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I was an athlete, but I never
Right.
worked out a day in my life when I was pregnant with all three of my kids. So I look
Yeah.
at my body now and I'm like, I'm an
Yeah.
athlete. Why does my body look like this? And one of the
Mm.
things where one, depression sets in and you're like, this is not right. My body is da, da, da. And then you're like, well, maybe
Child.
I should just go get cosmetic surgery. But then you don't want to be
Woo.
that person that everybody judges. And you're just like, well, it is my body. So why do you even care?
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, if your daughter goes through the same thing and you're like, girl, you look fine. You don't need
Right. Right.
and that's the thing, like with my facial hair and stuff, like Violet, she's light skinned
Mm-hmm.
and her hair and she has a
Mm-hmm.
mustache. And I'm like, my baby is going to go through the same exact things that I went through. And I'm going to tell her the same
Mm.
exact things that my mom used to tell me, like, no, pretty girls don't
Listen.
shave, pretty girl, leave it alone, pretty girl, all
Mm-hmm.
pretty girls have mustaches,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all this and third, just to boost
Yeah.
um her confidence. But at the same time,
Right.
I know there's going to come a point in time where she's gonna be like, no, no, lady, you
Yeah. I'm
tell us
not feeling
this.
this, mom.
Right. So I am going to like if she comes to me and be like, "No, ma, this got to go. I can't have no lip, no hairy lip." I'm gonna take her to go get it waxed because I know
That
what
was
it
my
feels
question. I was
like.
gonna say, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna? And by the way, she's absolutely gorgeous. I didn't even. I
You
can't even tell. I don't see no facial hair. I just see a beautiful, beautiful baby girl. She is absolutely gorgeous.
and that's why I'm like, it's so funny because I never was aware of what I looked like until I
Mhm.
hit like middle school. And I'm
Yes.
like, is that the
Yes.
is that the age where like kids really start like judging you?
Hmm. That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, when you hit that, do you feel like you hit that because somebody said something to you, or you noticed it on your own? Or did you just see like a girl that was like, man, I wish I looked like her? Did you know what I mean? What was that kind of switch for you?
It wasn't until I hit middle school. I was in
Wow.
I think I was in well, in New Jersey, middle school is like 7th, 8th grade. So
Right.
I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade going into middle school.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
one of the boys was just like, "You have a mustache. Ew, girls don't have mustaches, da da da." And that's when it clicked to me. I was like,
That's when it clicked.
"What?"
You're like, what? Why
Like
are they so mean?
I
Boys.
a
Boys
boy.
of the age like I experienced some things with boys as well, as far as like being made fun of. I was made fun of because of how fair skinned I am, and they were like, you can't be black
Oh my
because you're lighter than me. And that I never really, like, people in my family would make little jokes and stuff like that, but I didn't pay any mind. I just thought it was, whatever, funny. But like you said, when they said that, that's when the switch went off for me. Like, I am so light skinned. Like, oh, I am so light. I am, you know what I mean? And then it became a thing. And
hmm
so it's so, I mean, we can protect our babies as much as we can, but it's almost like the inevitable. It's just, you kind of just have to give them the tools to overcome that kind of stuff.
hmm Yeah.
Wow, that is so
But we
interesting.
said last podcast, like
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in I don't know if it's an era thing or just like a thing where
Mm-hmm.
they was like, "Oh, you're light skinned, so you think you all of that," or did it. I'm like, but I didn't even put two and two together. Like
Right.
my mom
It's
told me
not.
all the time
Yeah,
that I was pretty, so I thought I was pretty. Like it is what it is.
exactly.
But
And that's something that starts from like slave time. Let's be honest. You
yes,
know,
yes,
because
yes,
jokingly, my grandmother used to say, you would be in the house if we were back in the day.
girl, yes. And my
I used
cat,
to always say that.
it's so crazy because like growing up, like you said, like your family, they would make all like these little jokes and stuff like that. So the joke in our
Right.
family was like me and my brother, like my oldest brother, we were
Yeah.
Spanish. Like we came from
Oh,
Spanish, and I'm like, how how do you get Spanish? Like where do you get Spanish from? Because I am not Spanish.
right.
I am
Right.
African American. Okay, and
Okay.
it's just one of those things where it's just like, girl, bye. But then when a Spanish person, because you know where I went to high school at, a
Well,
Spanish person in school walked up to me and started speaking Spanish, I was like, oh, I really do come
yes.
off as
Yes. I've gotten that
looking
so many
like I'm
times.
Spanish. And I'm like,
Yes.
no.
It's almost it's like I try not to get offended because that still does happen to me till this day. Uh, but they do just start, oh, mommy, da 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 da. And I'm like, sorry.
Like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, and they look at you, they're like, oh, yes, I definitely understand that. It's so crazy, and I'm happy that we're having this conversation because of things like that. When people see us, a lot of times, they're like, "Oh, she's so pretty. She doesn't have anything to worry about, or whatever, whatever." But we too have great insecurities. You know what I mean? That need to be talked about, and I feel that it helps others to see others feeling that kind of way and actually being vocal about it.
Yep.
And you did touch on a little bit of something that I have talked about with my husband several times, and that is cosmetic surgery and the judgment of that. I have friends who have done it, I have friends who are against it, and I feel like I'm in the middle.
Mhm.
If I
Mhm.
could be honest with you, how do you feel about cosmetic surgery? Is it something that you really ponder?
Do it. Do what your heart desired. PSA. It is your body, your choice. Okay. Listen to me when I say this. Okay.
Listen, okay,
Like I said, I grew up, I've never had boobies, but
okay,
I've always wanted boobies. So, like, all
mm-hmm.
throughout college, now I would tell all my friends, I'm getting a boob job when I get older. I'm getting a boob
Boom.
job when I get older. Had a kid, got bigger boobs. I was like, oh, I don't need a boob job. The milking phase, the year of feeding her
Yes,
went away.
yes, it's different.
It's a whole different ball game now. So now it's not just to fill them, it's now to lift them, shift them, and fill them up. So I'm
Child.
just like, so I definitely need that. And then on
Yes.
top of that, it's just like, again, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, my background is being athletic. I never did
Right.
anything throughout pregnancy to get my body
Mhm.
back to where it needed to be. So right
Exactly.
now, as I'm working out, trying to eat healthier, using my, um, supplements to help me
Yes.
lose the weight, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still not losing
Where you
like
want to
the
be.
excess stretched skin. I'm still not, getting what I want to see in
Yes.
my evolving body of like getting stronger
Absolutely.
and all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I told my husband, I was like, look, I give you because I'll be 34 this year. I will
Yes.
give you a year to
Okay.
decide if you want a fourth kid or not. If you do not
Boom.
want a fourth kid,
Uh-huh.
I am getting I'm getting an entire mommy makeover, okay? An entire
Yes.
mommy makeover. If like I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what it needs to be done to get my
Okay.
body where I want it to
Needs
be,
to be.
to just
Yeah.
feel okay before the surgery. But
Sure.
in whatever I said, whatever fat they can get out of my stomach after I do
Listen.
whatever needs to be done, take it out
Yes.
and go ahead and put it in my butt because it's mine. It's mine. I don't want that going to no one else. That's mine. And go ahead and fill me up top because
Yes.
no, I can't. I'm not. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
And then if you want to sit there and judge me because I did that,
Come on
sis,
now.
what are you mad about? What
What you mad about?
you mad because now I got great breasts? Like, let's go do this
Listen.
together. We can do this together.
It's a whole nother life. The women that I do know, the friends that have done the boob job, they wear no bra, and you can't even tell. It's amazing.
That's
It's
where I want
amazing.
to be. I want to get back to those days. You know,
Okay,
let's get back to
I
those
think I
days.
was only there in middle school. Let's be honest. I got thick early.
Like I
My
said, I
grandmother used to
had
tell me
nothing
about the
up there.
pencil. You put a pencil. What she say? You take a pencil and you put it underneath your boobie, and you lift your arm. If the pencil falls, then you don't have to wear a bra. And you can go ahead and be free. But if that thing stay in there, go ahead and put yourself a bra on. Okay, that's it.
Look, listen to
I
me.
yes,
Now,
I'm
like it's
definitely not against it.
it's
Yeah,
levels of like plastic surgery though, like
right.
or cosmetic
Yeah,
surgery, I should say. Like if you go in and you
sure.
just want a whole complete new face, that's just something
Right,
on a whole different level to me.
right.
Some
Yes.
people may
Mhm.
be like, I just need a little. My nose is broken, is to the left, and I
Sure.
need it to be fixed. That's one thing. But if you're
Okay.
like, no, fill my lips up to as big as they can get, make my nose as small as it can get. That's a whole different mental thing to
Right.
me. But if you're
Right.
fixing something that is really weighing down on your
Mhm.
physical, your mental, your spirit and stuff like that,
Mhm.
do it. Like do what makes you feel better. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm getting laser hair removal because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do this no more. I can't. I did it.
Yeah.
I've never messed with my face my entire life.
Okay.
I would,
Mhm.
shave it off. But then
Sure.
by the time it grew back, I was like,
Mhm.
and then after having kids and those extra hormones and it's just popping
Yeah.
stuff out, I just was like,
Right.
I can't do
And
this.
that's got to end up being painful at some point.
Right.
too.
Yes.
You're always pulling stuff out of your face.
Yes. And not
I understand.
and it itches. Like, sometimes I be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my God, why does my
Yeah,
chin itch so bad? And I go and
right.
feel it. It's a whole daggone forest down here.
Not a
And I'm
forest. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. You take beautiful pictures. I've never seen
look,
it.
I take them from up top, okay? That's what it is. You got to learn your angles when you got stuff on your face.
Listen, I learned my angles because I have a skin attachment on right here. It's solid. And so I learned my angles because it's
Now,
just
see, to
it don't
me, like, I would be like, girl, you're tripping because right now I don't see nothing. I think you look perfect to me. But
you're
then you
so
look at
sweet.
yourself in the mirror and you're like, this got
Exactly.
to go, this got to go, this got, and that's how I do. Like, you be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, girl, you look so good.
Right.
I have three kids,
Exactly.
within 4 years or 5 years. I'm like,
Yes.
you don't know what's under the shirt.
It's like I,
Thanks, but I think I wear black a lot.
oh,
Makes
oh, I live in black.
Yeah.
My mother asked me, "Are you in mourning?" I'm not in mourning. I really do love black, and I feel that black loves me because it
Yes.
hides, And it's so funny. If somebody's listening, probably like these girls are tripping, but but I mean, at the end of the day, are we not loving our bodies just because we're not loving our bodies, or are we not loving our bodies because of what we see that is loved and that what is praised? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think for me, I have no issues with plastic surgery, like you said.
Mhm.
I don't have issues with you wanting to do it. My only concern is the reason you are doing it. Because if you're doing it for others and you do it, you're still never going to be satisfied, and you're going to be one of those ones who end up looking this way, and then 5 years later, because you keep going back, you look this way.
Yep.
uh, but yeah, I definitely have talked about it seriously with my husband. I think for me, I definitely something I want to do. My only concern, or my only thing being a mom, I'm always feeling bad to spend so much on myself, and so I feel like that's my holdup. Because I'm like, dang, our daughter's about to start high school. That's 4 years and she's going to go to college. Do I really want to go ahead and take this time for myself? But I mean, there comes a time.
Why are we
We
like that? Why are we like that?
always put ourselves in the back burner.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a condition. I don't know. It's something that we've just seen previously with our parents, but it's such it's such a real thing. I'm just so happy that we've had this conversation. I mean, I literally could go on and on about this.
Oh my gosh, me too. This is like I said, it's just like one of those things where we're just gonna have to maybe let's start a YouTube. Put this, just make it like an endless
Listen,
series, like this
yeah,
this
it's just a
series
series
of
about
loving
our
your
bodies.
body, okay? Like
Yes.
you need a whole. Let's just do a whole circle and get everybody's opinion. Like
Bam, bam, bam. Did you hear that, guys? That was a whole drop exclusive. Okay.
you need just one time, one good time. We're just gonna do like an hour long
We
She
need
Hustles
to.
podcast and have like
Yes.
just do a big old like kumbaya circle.
Listen, we need to, and we so need to, because it really is something that, especially with females, it's hard to talk about it with each other. And so
Mhm.
when you finally do, it's kind of like, oh, that's how you feel, and then and then we kind of just, and it's not. I had talked to, not to be off, well, still on the topic, but I had talked to my neighbor a few weeks ago, and he talking about God, and it was a great conversation. But something that really disturbed me was that he had said, he talked about bodies and images or whatever, and he was saying, you know, people who go and get these surgeries are basically saying an inappropriate word to God, basically like, bump you, God, you didn't make me the way I am, perfectly. And so that really just disturbed me, because I felt like that's what people think, some,
Right,
unfortunately. And there are different sides to it, but I feel like, from what we were talking about, it's kind of, for the person who is considering it, they shouldn't feel ashamed of something they want to fix for themselves.
right.
That's really my point of the conversation. It just disturbed me that he would say that, because it's not. in terms of the way we're talking about it, it's not saying that we don't appreciate what God, the temple that He gave us, because we do. We do. I speak for myself. I know I do appreciate the temple. However, I just wish that I could just change some things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and so
And
I appreciate
it's
your
really
honesty.
nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Like you said, to us, it's just one of those things where like, well, you may think like that, sir, but have you ever grown a human in your body? And then
Listen,
have you ever, got compared to someone that does not look nothing like you? But then now
yes,
you're thinking about that for the rest of your life. Like, sir.
it's almost it's a crazy seed that's implanted. It's so crazy. Right now, my husband has lost, I think about 40 pounds. And the crazy thing is, I started before him.
Mm-hmm.
I introduced him to the water jug and all that kind of stuff. And I'm seeing, I don't get on the scale. That's one thing. I don't get on the scale. I
No.
don't believe in scales. I do inches because I will be in a crazy house if I know how much I weigh. But he has lost 40 pounds. Everywhere we go, he is getting so many compliments. And I had to G check myself because I was rolling my eyes at him. I was like, okay, I'm that tired of all the compliments. Okay.
I understand. I understand. Sam, when you say that your husband lost that much weight, ma'am, I wish my husband would gain that just so he can so I can erase his stuff. Like it's mind
Wow.
boggling to me because my husband, he's a garbage disposal, okay? This man eats like there's
Mine
no other.
too.
And then
Yes.
he goes out and I'm like, bruh, you just ate a burger, a steak, and all this and the third, and you still have your stomach muscles. Why are they still here? Like, where's
That's
the
why I
dad pouch? Like, I need
listen.
dad bod right now. And he's like, I want
Hello.
a dad bod. And my husband is 38. Yeah, he's 38,
Wow.
and
He
he
does
looks
not
the
look
same.
it. That's very
Right,
young. Okay, sidebar.
right.
He looks
No,
amazing.
that's what I said. You're an old fart. But that's the only thing that I can make fun of him on because it's just like it's like again back to his image, like down to his skin
Yeah.
tone. I love
Mhm.
how dark he is because I
Yes.
prayed for a chocolate baby. Like I told God, like look,
Listen.
whatever you do, my first one got to be a chocolate baby because I just love that
It's
skin tone.
beautiful. It's
And it's one of
beautiful.
those things that's just like, but why you gotta walk around with no shirt on all the time? Because I'm still trying to lose weight. I want to get some abs. How about you
Okay.
go put like a sweater on or something?
Put a sweater on and leave
And
me
then
alone.
of
Okay.
course when we're like at the beach or something like that, of course you get the little looks, and I'd be like, sis, how you doing? He got 3 kids. He got 3 kids and a wife. Go
Babe,
on about your
babe.
business. Babe,
Call
come
your
here.
daddy. Call your
Come
daddy. Daddy.
Right. Lavender don't play that. She be like, Daddy, where you going?
I
But
know
it's
that's
like
right.
it's so much envy because like how can you
Yes.
lose so much? Like we started at the same time. And then you look like that and I still look like this. It's something wrong. Something's happening. Why can't my
You
body
don't
just
get
do
to
what your
it.
body does? But then on the flip side, I tell him all the time, you can never do what I do, boo boo, because I carry all
Listen.
3 of your kids. So the
Listen.
least you can do is like, chop me off a little extra skin.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And I have to say, even though I resent my husband a little bit, I am happy I was honest, but
I
he's,
would too. It gets
he
on my
has
nerves.
been such a great cheerleader. He'll be like, girl, you're looking good and stuff like that. He's never made me feel shameful of my body in any season that I've been. And this has been a very interesting season. This is a season I've never been this big before. This is the biggest I've been. I've always been a thick girl since middle school and up, but this is the thickest I've been. And I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the tire.
You still look good to me, so I'm
Jesus.
with your husband. You look
Girl,
good, girl.
girl, you look bomb. Listen, bomb diggity, okay? This has been so great. I know I feel like I've done a Baptist close where you say you're leaving, but then you got like a few more points to make.
Look, everybody done put up their finger and walked.
Yeah. These girls are crazy. This has been so good though, and I feel that this has definitely helped a young lady who's insecure, who may just see that, when you go on social media, you just see the final product. You just see the smile, you just see the quick video, and it's like, oh, she's so happy, she's so perfect. No, she's got insecurities. She's got things that bother her. And so you're human, and don't feel that, that you're not human because you feel insecure about some things. It's okay.
Right.
Okay.
It is.
This was so great. This was so great. We
Yeah.
have to do this again. I agree with you. This should be something ongoing because there's so many things that women go through, from body to emotion to just we literally carry so much on us, and we need a place to let it out.
Yes. Yes. And
So
this is the place. This is
yeah,
the place.
this
This
is
is
the
the place.
place.
She podcast is the place. Because let me tell you, well, every time I do a podcast with you, I leave so like uplifted and like weight off my shoulders just because I get to
Oh
talk to someone besides like my husband or like my
yes,
kids. And it's
yes.
just like, it's good to have like a girl conversation.
Oh, I'm not gonna cry this evening. I am a crier, so I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna be a thug. I'm gonna be a thug. I'm gonna be a thug. What? Thank you for entertaining my robe situation.
Girl, look, you
Thank
see my
you.
little one shoulder still in my
You've been working it. Thank you. And that what you said really means so much, and I feel that that's another reason why I do this podcast, because it is time for me to speak to a beautiful woman and just have a good conversation, no stress. We laugh, we can cry, we can just talk with us, put the family aside for one
Yeah.
little time, just so we can really just talk about what's going on in here, because you got to have mental check-ins. Those are real. That should be another conversation we can talk about. We have another episode coming.
Please
I'm
do.
just saying, God, this is how God is working. He's just moving. He is just moving. Gosh. Okay, I will wrap this up for all the ones who are listening. I thank you guys so much for listening. Tiffany, thank you so much for taking time for little old me.
Thank you. Thank you for opening up your time for me.
What, girl? It is so appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tiffany, I'm going to say good night, good day to you. Guys, it's episode 4. I did not cry. It was right there. There were long blinks, but we made it through. Miss Tiffany is the truth. I hope that you were blessed by this. I hope that you felt a little more comfortable and were like feeling more realistic, and feeling better about yourself. Not that you're not crazy. It's okay to have insecurities, is what you do about them. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of the She Hustles podcast. Check us out on kingdomhustle.com. Have a great day.